Everyone's talking about getting their lives in order. I've said it myself many times. So many times I've lost count. Social media is overflowing with people taking selfies at a jumping into ice baths, keeping journals with expensive pens, and showing off colorful planners to millions of strangers. It looks beautiful, convincing, almost inspiring. Now the numbers. More than 80% of people who publicly announce their goals give up within the first 2 months. 80. This isn't my observation, but rather research on the psychology of goal setting, and it reveals something that all motivational content prefers to remain silent about. People who truly transform their lives, those who build real discipline, real structure, real change, almost never do it loudly. They do it quietly, without announcements, without reporting posts, without dramatic day one videos. They simply quietly rebuild the way they live. And then one day, people around me notice that something has fundamentally changed. I spent a long time trying to figure out how to organize a chaotic life without turning it into a performance. How to build a discipline that doesn't depend on motivation, applause, or someone else's observation. It seems no one even asks this question. Everyone is too busy posting results. That's exactly what I want to talk about. Not 13 trendy life hacks. 13 real habits that work in the real world. Habits developed by people who figured it all out on their own, when no one else was around. Habit number 1. Master the first hour of your day. That's what everyone says about waking up early. Get up at 5. Win in life. I tried it myself. I set my alarm for 5, even 4:30. I set 3 alarms with motivational messages. And you know what? It didn't work, because the obsession with getting up early destroyed more routines than it created. A real habit isn't about getting up early. A true habit is to master the first hour of your day, no matter what time it begins. In neuroscience, there's a concept called the executive window. This is the period immediately after waking, when the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision planning and impulse control, is at its most receptive. For most people, this window lasts between 60 and 90 minutes. And here's what most people do with it. They grab their phone. They scroll through notifications, headlines, someone else's opinion on something unimportant. That's all. The most powerful cognitive window of the day is occupied by other people's priorities. I lived like this for years. My phone was the first thing I saw in the morning, and then I wondered why I felt drained by lunchtime. People who have organized their lives in silence have realized something different. They protect the first hour as sacred, with simple rituals, a non-routine 17-step process. They simply refuse to let in outside noise until they've established their own direction. One former military officer, who runs a logistics company, described it this way: the first 45 minutes of every day are complete silence. No phone, no email, no music, no coffee, just one piece of paper with the 3 most important things on it today. Not 10, not a to-do list. 3. He's been doing this for over 12 years. He says the cumulative effect of 12 years of mindful mornings is something most people can't comprehend. Simple math. 3 priorities a day. 1,000 days of deep clarity every 3 years. That's not productivity. That's architecture. When people ask how he stays focused and calm, he doesn't mention ritual. He shrugs. Because quiet organization looks effortless on the surface, like natural talent. But it's a practiced behavior, repeated alone every morning for years. Habit number 2. Design your environment before you need willpower. Protecting your morning means little if the rest of the day is chaos. The second habit is something that's rarely discussed in the productivity world. There's research from the 1990s. Scientists tracked eating habits in offices. When a bowl of candies was placed on the desk rather than 2 meters away, people ate 9 more candies. 9. Not from hunger, just because it's close. 2 meters makes all the difference. I thought about this for a long time and realized that this principle applies to everything. Your clothes in the evening determine your morning workout. Your bedside exercises determine your 45 minutes of scrolling before bed. And a notebook on your desk determines whether you write down your thoughts or lose them. People who have quietly organized their lives become obsessive environmental designers. Don't rely on motivation, and design their spaces so that the right action is the easiest. A woman who got out of serious debt and built up a 6-month savings cushion in 2 years never used a budgeting app. She remodeled her apartment. She has a chalkboard on the refrigerator with her savings goal. Credit card information has been deleted from the browser. Store your debit card in a locked safe. Only cash on hand. The friction of spending and the visibility of savings were stronger than any app. It's not willpower, it's engineering. A student who failed 3 classes and then made the top 10 described a similar situation. Moved my phone charger from the bedroom to the kitchen. One change costing 0 rubles, minus 50 minutes of late night scrolling, plus 7 hours of sleep per week, 7 hours from moving the cable. The environment does the hard work for you. It sounds strange, but it works precisely because it doesn't depend on your daily fortitude. It depends on the room's layout. Habit number 3. Change one thing at a time. 30 days, then move on to the next. This is where everyone falls apart, including me. You set up your morning routine, reorganize your space, and then try to change everything at once. Diet, exercise, sleep, journaling, reading all in 1 week. After 14 days, the system collapses like a house of cards. The third habit is aggressively boring, which is why it works. Neurologically, with consistent repetition of the behavior for about 30 days, it becomes automatic. The action no longer requires conscious effort and becomes more like autopilot. The brain builds new neural pathways, but the brain can only build a limited number of pathways at a time. 5 new habits at once are like 5 updates on an old computer. Everything slows down, nothing installs, the system crashes. A glass of water in front of a plate, quiet, simple. People who have successfully organized their lives in silence always describe the same thing. One thing, just one. Make your bed. Walk for 20 minutes. Write for 10 minutes before bed. One thing, 30 days, then the next. A retired teacher transformed her health after 60. The first month, a full glass of water before every meal. That's it. After 30 days, it became automatic. The mental capacity for the next step was built. After 14 months, 18 kilograms lost, and 2 medications discontinued. No one on social media would have found the first month interesting. A glass of water, no before and after photos, no editing. But it was this invisible, boring sequence that became the foundation of everything that came after. Habit number 4, strategic denial. All motivational content screams, never give up, work harder, keep going. Sometimes that's the right thing to do.